everything that we do in life, planning is of utmost importance. Whether it's your personal goal, professional goal, something you're doing for the society, anything requires proper planning. And to add on to it is the power of faith. Our guest today is someone who has beautifully amalgamated her mission with her life's purpose, and giving back to the society is what brings healing to her. She has given proper time to planning. She has not rushed things, but she has shown great power of empathizing with people who need recognition. She works with kids who are specially able. She brings their skills out. She's not just focused on carrying out events to showcase what they have. She has planned her mission in a way which gives a holistic support and holistic recognition to kids and the parents who need that support, the real one. I am very, very honored to welcome our guest, Surbhi Aplesh, today to our episode of Shrishti. And her journey is truly inspiring. The conversation that we've had is truly real, raw, and I hope most of us can relate to what she has expressed and can be real in bringing relevance to the society. Thank you very much, first of all, for joining us on Shrishti. And I'm very honored to have you on our episode today.
Pleasure is all mine.
So, to begin with, we would love to know about you, your journey, your experiences, the roles you're playing. How has your journey been, and what all experiences shaped the journey and the place that you are today?
So, to be very honest, Nivedita, when I started, I never knew if you would have asked me this around 15 years back or 20 years back, I had no clue what I want to do, where I am, what is happening in my life, nothing. Got married at the age of 21. I had my elder son. So it was like I had a husband being in the job where he is, shifting every 10 months, 11 months. So before I could figure out ki karna kya hai and I get familiar with the place, it was time for me to move, shift my base. So that
Right.
is where to satisfy that craving, ki I am like, I'm busy or to keep myself busy rather. I started with doing these, home craft, like making a photo frame out of Rajma, making, what do you say, uh, some hankies or some cap, something on the other, but I used to, kuch nahi hota tha, so I used to just change the setting of my house. So this was one thing which I have been doing. With somewhere, I found out that I can, sketch, I can do, like rather I'll tell you, Mehndi is the only thing I can do with both hands. I cannot write with left hand, but I can put henna with left hand
Oh,
because there was nobody to put Mehndi on the left hand. But for me, so that is how it. कहते हैं ना the invention, so the necessity is the need.
mother.
So, mother of invention. So that is what happened. And then slowly, gradually, art became my thing, and then crafting, and that is how art came. It kind of healed me. I started with one tray. I gifted it to somebody, and then from there I got my first order. Started with trays, and then there were a whole lot of stuff in my kitty. Slowly, gradually, I was taking part in exhibitions. Then I started there. There were organizers with whom what they promised couldn't deliver it to us, and we being an exhibitor, we were hoping for like we'll be taken care. So then that thing started, and then Vedant Creation was formed, and I've been. Ever since I've moved to Pune, I segregated my work, channelized my thing. Then Radhanare came into picture, which is an arts and event firm. So for arts, I even collaborate with slums and NGOs where I go and I teach their ladies. I go to school, I teach the kids. Normally we teach them, recycle, reuse, reduce. But how
Right.
can you reuse without refurbishing.
correct, correct. Because
अगर कोई बॉटल टूटी है तो जब तक आप उसको ठीक नहीं करोगे, नया लुक नहीं दोगे, how can we use?
correct,
So that refurbishing part we were taking, the idea behind it was to, uh, with so much of peer pressure and studies and exams and all, art comes as a escape.
correct.
And normally, आज की date में भी there are very less parents who, promote art or
Hmm.
introduce art as an career to their kids. So
Absolutely.
that is what my motive was like. And then coming to events, then we used to organize pleas, we used to organize book launches, soft launches. There were, birthday parties. There were a whole lot of things that we used to do it. Recently, we are doing even a run there. There were dance competitions, education and competitions and all. The idea again was to support the society back, to give platform to the homegrown business, to the startups, or to ladies, mainly, to the women who cannot afford hi-fi costing.
Correct.
So we are still working on that, and we have about 3,000 plus exhibitors all over Pune
Wow,
associated with us.
that's
So
great.
this was the main thing which जो लेके चले थे. And then I met people. There was one event where I went, and I have been working with Sankar with special kids for quite some time. I've been associated with them very closely. I have been watching them. So there was this one parent of a specially able who came to me and asked, "What after us?
Mhm.
Who will take
Okay,
care of my child?"
nice.
Believe me, I'm telling you, I'm getting the chill spine
Yeah, me too.
because that was one thing, Rajita, which moved me. I don't know what happened. Since then, I have been associated with Specially Abled. On 26th of January 2026, we formally launched Sukanya Ram Saxena Foundation, which will be working purely for the benefit or for supporting the specially able kids. We will also be working for, underprivileged and women empowerment and all. But our focus is especially able, for which we have already had, I've collaborated with people. We have already had, Harmony Fest, which I did with Nana Ken Foundation. So there we had, stalls, we had inclusion carnival, we had job fairs. Then we did, again with them only I collaborated and we did 8 rounds where we had dance performances, kids came and spoke about their journey. So now with every event we are, reaching one step ahead, and we are having on 26th of April, we are having Samavesh. Samavesh is an event which is a 2-day event in Lucknow. And first day on 25th of April, we are having Cultural Fest where we are calling especially the schools and all to come for to the kids to come perform, have a have a blast where we are again emphasizing on inclusion. There are kids who are coming. There are kids with no disability. Those who are coming and performing on the same stage where the kids with disability are coming and performing. So 25th we are having this, and 26th we are having an inclusion run where we are hoping about 1,000 people to run, and we have already got good registration. So again, the thing is inclusion where everybody, people with disability and people without disability, run together to give the message on to this is what inclusion is. So this is all about my foundation and my company. Yeah,
Wonderful. I think it's like a holistic thing that you're doing for the better tomorrow. Because, like you rightly said, art comes, it takes a backstage mostly with kids. Parents
it
still
takes,
feel
yes,
that it is not something which is the main uh, part of living. But yeah, rightly said, with so much of things happening around, kids actually need a vent out. And
they
what
do,
better
they
than
do.
creativity?
They
Wonderful.
do. You, but
Wonderful.
I was amazed to see when I gave them, uh, uh, a topic to draw something. The kind of, creativity and imagination they had come across and put it on paper, I was amazed. And I'm not talking about older kids. I'm talking about also human kids.
Yeah, the younger ones. Correct, correct. Actually, because I think
the best way to express is whenever we draw, whenever we the choice of colors, the choice of strokes, everything shows what's going inside. So it is a great way to express and let out things which are bothering. Wonderful. You're doing a great job. And yeah, I just hope more and more people get involved. They understand inclusion again is something which is very much required. And many of the times we
Yes,
normally, like normal families or normal kids which are who are, having their routine life, we fail on that part to let them to educate them on that there are people who are little bit different, but they are part of us. So yeah, getting associated with programs like you're doing or with the events that you're doing, it will help us with that part of education as well. Wonderful. So coming next, because all the initiatives, all of that you're taking, we now it is coined as entrepreneurship. So it's not
it
easy.
is.
It is not easy to connect with people, to, convey your message, get them associated with you. So what keeps you going when you are facing any challenges or any challenging phase comes up to you? What keeps you going?
Actually, to be very honest, there are times, Nivedita, when it gets very difficult, as you said, convincing people, and I get demotivated very easily. But in these testing time, my team, my family, my kids, moreover, they keep me going. They are like, कि, okay, ठीक है, कोई बात नहीं, let us do it. And moreover, थोड़ा सा funny sound करेगा या there are people who don't believe, but I have my unwavering faith on Bajrang Bali. So I don't know, but yes, हो जाते हैं मेरे काम. There are people who have themselves, and I'm talking about the times when I'm the most demotivated. Yeah, am I going on the right direction? There is always a
Right.
question mark.
Absolutely.
It is getting very difficult to convince people, so am I right or are they right? And they're asking so many questions and all. But the thing is, at the end, पता नहीं कहाँ से, पता नहीं कैसे, I don't know. चीजें हो जाती हैं. There are people who come who say, किसी भी तुम करो. Like yesterday only, I was talking to someone and I told him, see, I need a sponsor. We are doing the inclusion run here also with CME. So I asked him, कि I'm looking for a sponsor for a certain meeting. He said, हो जाएगा, don't worry. मेरे को बोल दिया हो जाएगा. So this is how things happen. तुमने बोल दिया हो जाएगा. I don't know. He's probably watching over me.
Yeah, faith has immense strength, and we realize it
It
mostly
has.
during our low times.
It
So
is. It is. And somehow, I don't know in different forms, but I know I'm taking care.
great, great. So, though you already mentioned and we've understood more about the work, so if I ask you, how would you describe your work, entire thing that you're doing? Is it a mission or is it a purpose or is it healing for you? If you have to define it, how would you define that?
See, when I needed support in life, like not support from Shambhi Marketing, but then when you start a new career or a new line, like suppose when you would ever started. So initially we are looking for support. We at times we say it bluntly. There are people who say it bluntly, कि मुझे support चाहिए. At times, most of the times rather, it is very difficult for even a lady to ask, I need support.
Right,
Because she is already fighting a lot of battle and we still here. अभी यहाँ पे आके she'll say कि I need support. So then people will say कि अच्छा, अभी हो गया सारा. So my motive is to support these ladies because when I needed, I could not get these kind of support from the organizers who organized or from the people whom I was looking for. So
right,
my motive is this. Plus now I have, amalgamated it with a cause, which is Sukanya Ram Saxena Foundation. Again, it is after my Dadi Baba's name. So it has an emotional touch also and a cause also. So one company, Redan Array, is working to support the women entrepreneurs, the small scale startups, and even to like we have some. really very talented kids joining in as interns. So we are supporting these kids also, guiding them, and whatever we are earning from this part is going to this part, which is Sukanya Samriddhi Foundation, and supporting this. So, and all together, yes, it heals me because at the end, I have the smile that I've done something good. Even if I have not made profit, even if I have gone in loss, I have paid from my pocket, whatever it is, but I am satisfied with it. And that is what matters the most.
Right. So it's a beautiful, actually, rightly said, amalgamation. You have a mission, you have a purpose, and together it gives you healing. So I think you are just doing the perfect thing with life. Wonderful.
Right.
Now we know that, like we just spoke, working in inclusion often means you have to challenge many societal mindsets. So, what
Yes.
are some barriers, external and internal, within yourself also, that you feel that you have had to break?
Uh, Internal, nothing. It was initially when I used to say कि अगर मैंने जाके बोला और उन्होंने मना कर दिया या कुछ बोल दिया
Hmm.
तो कैसे होगा करके with that hesitation which we have in it.
Right,
So
right.
internal I have nothing, but yes, external I do have because there are people who come who associate with you. They will talk all big about inclusion, especially able society, giving back to society. But sadly, it has all become very commercial. So
Right.
when you are going with a purpose, when you are working for a purpose and you have the mindset कि मुझे ये करना है, and you're not looking for profit, loss or कौन आ रहा है, कौन नहीं आ रहा, who's associated. And then these people come, they talk big about things कि हम आपके साथ associate होना चाहते हैं, we want to be part of it. तो वो थोड़ा सा मेरे लिए बैरियर हो जाता है बिकॉज बैरियर नहीं वो ज्यादा मेरे लिए बर्डन हो जाता है you know
Right.
fighting that mindset कि
Hmm.
it is you're doing a cause don't you know don't come with because they'll talk big, they'll show everything on paper, but it is only on paper. So when you're working in the society where everything is very very commercial, so even you are labeled as one.
Hmm. Correct, correct.
अगर 10 लोग हैं निवेदिता and 10 people are working different different sector and they are working saying कि हम inclusion के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, हम especially able के लिए काम कर रहे हैं, and not that our society is not seeing what exactly is happening. So
Hmm.
when they are there for profit and all, and at the end they are not actually working for inclusion, and there you go and you're working for inclusion, it will be very difficult to make people understand and make them trust you कि you are not वो लास्ट में ना दिल पॉप अप अच्छा मैडम तो आप फीस चार्ज करोगे क्या, अच्छा मैडम तो बच्चों को ये लिखा है तो ये मिलेगा क्या एक्चुअली, मतलब फूड बॉक्स लिखा है तो फूड बॉक्स मिलेगा ना, फूड बॉक्स के नाम पे वो 5 रुपए की चॉकलेट तो नहीं पकड़ा देंगे. वो these questions come in mind which is actually making them trust you and realize you are actually here to support and वो थोड़ा सा difficult हो जाता
Right, right. I completely agree because once building trust is very difficult, and once if they lose it, then actually putting all the effort behind the purpose that you're working on, it gets mitigated. You have to first again put the efforts on building trust. So yeah, that is a very problematic
है. वो
thing.
बहुत बड़ा बैरियर हो जाता है बिकॉज 10 में से 9 वैसे ही, और 9 नहीं आप 8 मान लो, 8 वैसे ही निकल. So
Yes,
for
I
those
agree.
two, those two can be anybody. I can be there, somebody else. Maybe I'm not the only one who
Correct.
is working. There are people who are working for it. वो थोड़ा सा difficult.
But there is definitely a difference when your effort or your mind is driven with a purpose or with a cause, and when it is driven with a commercial aspect to that. So there is a lot of difference, and I understand that if you are purpose driven and you're seeing someone who is not and who wants to gain benefit out of doing such things or anything which is beneficial to the society, it is a turn off, to be really honest. You don't feel good
तो
about it.
उनको वो भरोसा देने के लिए ना कि आई एम नॉट वन ऑफ देम, उनको वहां तक लाना पड़ता है इवेंट
हाँ,
तक उनको। एंड देन यू हैव टू मेक श्योर कि दे सी द एंटायर वर्क, दे सी योर हार्ड वर्क। वो वो तब जाके एट द एंड ऑफ द इवेंट, तब जाके वो एक ट्रस्ट बिल्ड होता है। एंड वो भी पहले इवेंट से भी, वो कई इवेंट्स करने पड़ते हैं वैसे, वेयर यू आर पुटिंग द सेम अमाउंट ऑफ थिंग। वो थोड़ा सा वहां तक लाने के लिए हमें बहुत स्ट्रगल करना पड़ता है।
I understand. Uh, okay, so moving ahead now, talking specifically about a little bit on the women, being a woman front. Did you ever feel limited by expectations, being a woman or someone who's chosen a less conventional path?
नहीं, no,
Right.
never.
Right. Right.
Probably, why? Because I started only when I turned 40. I settled all the parts. Matlab, my elder one was in college doing his engineering. My younger one was also grown up. He was in seventh standard, sorry. So my kids were grown up, and then there are less. I never said.
And because like by the time we also develop as a person, so we know how to better manage things. I think when we start very early, we are very unsure of how to, how to respond, how to react. There's always a
Right.
tug of war going on.
So yes, when I see myself, I am like, I took this decision when I was sure that I can manage this. So I told everybody at home also, कि I'll manage. And
Right.
हो जा रहा है. That's what I never felt that constraint.
Wonderful. That's very good to know. Uh, okay, moving ahead, as someone who works closely with specially abled kids or people in general, is there anything that they taught you about life with which most of the adults don't?
I'll tell you about myself. People, those who know me, they get, I get hyper, I get panicked, I get worried about things. ये कैसे होगा, ये नहीं होगा, या sorry, या इतना effort डाल दिया and हुआ इतना ही सही। These kids, and even there are few ladies who are my exhibitors, and I'm working very closely with them. They have taught me one thing: to take it one day at a time, respect and be happy in what you have, rather than worrying about what you don't have or you cannot get. So जो है यही है, और this is what was meant to be. So I am now more happy, I'm more content with what I have. And yes, not that I'm not striving for more. I am striving, but then when there are times when you want something and you're not getting. So earlier, if you see the earlier Surabhi, I used to get disheartened, demotivated. And now I'm like, okay, probably this is not for me. Yeah.
Wow, that's a
So I'm
very big
enjoying
list.
life. I'm enjoying life. What has to be there, what was meant to be mine or be with me is there with me. जो नहीं है वो मैं कुछ भी कर लूँ, नहीं है। But then, yes, to get that, I give my 100%. उसके बाद भी नहीं है तो फिर नहीं है, लेकिन I don't say कि इसका नहीं है तो I I work hard. हाँ,
Okay. So, okay, so I had a question, but I think you've already answered that. Like we just spoke that inclusion is a word we often hear, but not many people understand it because, like we just talked about how, 8 out of 10 are mostly on gaining benefit out of what they're doing. So, how would you define true inclusion as?
हम आपको एक चीज बताते हैं। Few year back, I went to meet somebody when I was just starting. That fellow said, please come and we'll meet, we'll discuss, and then probably we'll work together. It is a good cause. It is a noble cause. This he said in public where there were so many people around. So everybody was like, "Yeah, he's supporting है, yeah, सब कुछ okay." ठीक है. After a week, I went in met him. The moment I sat, initially the general thing, tea, coffee, and all this nonsense. उसके बाद ही asked me, so सुरभि जी आप एक बात बताइए, and literally उसने ऐसे बोला, सुरभि जी आप एक बात बताइए, ये पागल बच्चों के लिए करके आपको क्या मिलेगा?
Oh, God.
निवेदिता, आपके चेहरे पे एक्सप्रेशन दिख गए. Believe me, I'm very expressive. What I have here, and I have hair on my face.
Right,
उस समय, I know how much effort I had put in not to show this.
right, right.
And उसमें आप विश्वास नहीं करेंगे, मतलब मेरा ये हो रहा था. I I just smiled and I said, "Thank you so much, sir, for your time. I have another meeting. I think I should go. I'm not feeling well." I got up and I left.
You said this, and I literally have goosebumps. How can people be so insensitive?
So, और ये हम आपको एक चीज बताते हैं. A very leading radio brand uh, came on board. So, कुछ ऐसे ही बात हो रही थी, तो they gave me a jingle. Though they understood, they related it, they were kind enough to बट जो एक हम नॉर्मल जो भाषा बोलते हैं, हम आपको वो बता रहे हैं.
Mm.
तो उसमें जिंगल में लाइन थी, वेदर यू आर स्पेशली एबल्ड और नॉर्मल. हमें
Mhm.
यही तो हटाना है कि
हाँ,
एवरीबडी इज
right,
नॉर्मल.
right,
आई एम
right.
नॉर्मल इन माई वे, यू आर नॉर्मल इन योर वे, दोस किड्स
Absolutely.
आर नॉर्मल इन देयर वे, एवरीबडी इज नॉर्मल.
Right,
देयर
right.
इज नो abnormal,
Mm-hmm.
pagal, abnormal, mentally. But there are so many names. Why? Why cannot just name them as human? हम क्या उखाड़ ले रहे हैं? We are people with no disability, but tell me हम ऐसा क्या उखाड़ ले रहे हैं जो वो बच्चे नहीं उखाड़ पा रहे हैं?
Absolutely. Mm. That's
So
too much to
you
grasp, actually.
you say things. I don't want to work on paper, Nivedita. Maybe I'm little slow. Maybe I'm still finding the correct way. Maybe I'm even ready to on that thing. हो सकता है मेरा तरीका गलत हो, या बहुत कंफ्यूजिंग हो, या सीधा ना हो, सब कुछ ठीक है. बट आई डोंट वांट टू वर्क ऑन पेपर. आई एम okay with being slow, being confused, being wrong, but I don't want to work for inclusion on paper and then say कि ये पागल बच्चे क्या कर रहे हैं. That is wrong.
And I think it is always good to be honest and true with your own purpose than to follow the crowd. कि हमें ज़्यादा, like you said, slow may not be the word. हम जब सही काम कर रहे होते हैं, it takes time. We say na kings are not made overnight, billionaires are not made overnight. Just that way is when you're doing something which is not very conventional, you're convincing people, you're making such a beautiful community. And like you rightly said, ki normal is what they are, and that is what needs to be understood. So I think just being true to yourself and true to the purpose is what matters. भले ही जितने जो भी ये आते हैं लोग, they I don't know how they even speak about it like that, because that is completely insensitive. And
I'm
yeah,
seeing that now. I'm seeing that now. In fact, I'm seeing people, those who are doing इतना सा, showing इतना सा, and
yes,
वो इतना के basis पे they are making like कि अरे हम तो ये करते हैं, हम तो पैसे नहीं कमाते. But now since I have associated with them, I have collaborated with them, I know the back end story.
right, right.
So once I gave them benefit of doubt कि ठीक है यार, हो सकता है हम गलत समझ रहे हो. Twice I was like, no, I'm not wrong. यहाँ पे लोग वैसे हैं. कोई आपको दिखेगा जो इस फील्ड में है to
Hmm.
because to support their child or their relative, कि
Hmm.
हमें अपने रिलेटिव को आगे दिखाना, उसके लिए आप क्या करोगे, बाकी बच्चों को भी बुलाओगे और उनको पीछे दिखाओ, विच इज नॉट राइट।
Not right. Absolutely.
कोई जस्ट टू प्रूव himself or herself to the society कि I am a good lady or a good man and I'm doing good for the society. They're doing all those things, making a lot of money, and then doing, "अरे I'm so like, नहीं
Hmm.
यार, this is not inclusion."
Yeah, this is a very, I think it requires a very good mindset to understand that what wrong they are doing by this. But I think
You
I
will
also
hardly, I'm sorry I'm cutting you, but you will hardly find a parent of a child who is not disabled
Mhm.
leaving their child with a specially able child carefree.
Yes,
They'll
yes.
keep on, हाँ, they'll keep on noticing, अरे वो कहीं मेरे बच्चे को मार तो नहीं देगा, अरे वो कहीं मेरे बच्चे को कुछ कर तो नहीं देगा. They keep on doing.
Yeah.
And then we
Yes,
talk about
this is
inclusion.
absolutely right. Absolutely true. Because recently I experienced this because we went to an event. It was a small during the time of Holi, and there were kids who were different. But they like if I talk about my kid also, he has not seen many things, and I'm not even haven't educated him yet on things like this, that there are different people. Though we talk about कि हाँ तेरा friend ऐसा है वो ऐसा है, but not specifically about something like this. So when he asked me कि he was enjoying, and I was happy that something like this is happening. But I did notice what you just mentioned, that there were parents who were not letting their kids go and play with them. So I felt bad, but then I also felt that they have a very limited mindset. If we are not
Right.
teaching our kids, how will they will also not thrive ahead, because if they don't know how to be inclusive, if they don't know how to take everyone together, they can never go far. So
True.
yeah, this really is required. So I wanted to ask this, like on a personal front also, like as parents, how is it that we can create more awareness and sensitivity with our children to help them understand? One, of course, is going to such events or such places where everyone are together. That is definitely one thing. But I think
Hmm.
वो बहुत कम होता है. There are hardly any events, because I think I did go to one where the normal kids, or like the ones who are uh, on they are not differently able, they are just normal,
They're not
they were not
disabled. Huh?
included. Yeah, you were there. So बट ये चीज ना, जहाँ पे सब साथ हों और सब वही कर रहे हो, एक दूसरे के साथ खेल रहे हो, एक दूसरे के साथ एक दूसरे को मोटिवेट कर रहे हो, इवन नॉर्मली भी देयर सो मच कंपटीशन हर चीज में, दैट वी हैव फॉरगॉटन कि वी हैव टू अप्रिशिएट अदर्स. हम अपने बच्चों को भी वो नहीं सिखाते, उनको फर्स्ट होना है. अगर मेरा फ्रेंड फर्स्ट हो गया, उसको अप्रिशिएट कर लो. हम वो भी नहीं सिखा रहे. So, what is your suggestion? How can we create little bit sensitivity to for the children to understand कि ये जरूरत है?
Uh, See what I have done with my kids. So they are grown up now. I have taken them once in a week, like normally, we have these play dates and all. जहाँ पे बच्चे जाते हैं. So I've
Mm-hmm.
sent them there. I've sent them to the schools of especially able. I've sent them, where some functions are happening. I have थोड़ा कभी कभी जानबूझ करके I have done this. Uh, why? Because they should learn कि what they are taking for granted, there are people striving for it.
Right, right,
So when you start appreciating the things you have with you, when you start appreciating yourself, that is when you start appreciating. So
correct.
I've done this with my kids and जबरदस्ती किया है.
Mhm.
जैसे when they have cribbed about, their toys being old or playing the same thing again and again, again and again, the same board game again and again. Believe me, uh, I have been a very, what is a bad mother that time, but I've taken all the toys. I've taken both of them. I've went and I've donated those toys. And the smile, the happiness, the joy which we have seen on the kids that time when they were getting those toys was as shown to my kids to see. this is what is life. So appreciate whatever you have. Even if you have two t-shirts, appreciate at least you have those. There are people who don't
Right.
have.
Absolutely.
Or there are
Absolutely.
people who cannot wear those t-shirts even if they have it.
Right. Right.
So I've done that. Even once or twice, I've got those toys, but a few of the toys from their back home. इससे खेले. And then exchange.
I think we need to go a very long way in actually making this awareness go spread out because
Yes. Yes.
yeah, we have to work a lot on this front. But yes, the seed has to be sown very early because that is when then yeah, I completely agree. Appreciation is something which is just missing. We are taking a lot of things for granted. Even we as adults, and not only say children, even we as adults many a times take a lot of things for granted. So doing such activities
हम
actually
इतनी
helps.
बड़ी बड़ी बातें कर रहे हैं, but then there are many things which even I take for granted at times, or I'm not happy about, or I'm not appreciating having those things.
Hmm.
So, but then the moment we start appreciating things, we're sorted.
Right.
There, that moment we're sorted.
I think one step at a time will also be good, at least. We
Hmm.
just need to keep moving, even if it's baby steps. So thank you very much for this. It gave me a lot of, insights on how I should do things more differently now. And
When you take your child frequently now, it automatically
Mhm.
becomes normal for them.
Right, right, absolutely. From the side of mental health, because that is what the focus is more on. What is the kind of self-talk that you have during your difficult days, and what is the tool that you use to come out of it? You said you have your family, your team, which pulls you out, but
Oh,
I want to know internally what goes on.
okay. Talking to my father, talking to my son is one thing which calms me, but then this is not the tool. The tool or the person or whatever you say, the calm in the chaos is
Okay.
I have my jobs, I have my Chalisa, Hanuman Chalisa is there, Ashtak is there, but I keep on doing that. So that is one thing, and I don't know. Again, I'm saying I have my unwavering belief there. I get my answers. I get my answers. I do my job. I do my things. And this is very frequent because I am in the line where every event is different from the previous one
Mhm. Correct, correct.
and more challenging from the previous one.
Mhm.
So that is why I have this panic attacks or anxiety attack, whatever you say. I have it very frequent. But then, yes, it is, all ऊपर
Taking
वाला
care
which
of.
that's the only tool I use in life. That वो एक line थी, I have read it somewhere, you know, भगवान है ना is a very is one sentence, but it is having holding a very deep belief. So
Right. So just to
मेरा
share,
वही है.
I am also a Hanuman Bhakt. I surrender to him and I get all the answers. And every time, like we use affirmations or, things which we use on a daily basis whenever we are low या कुछ नया करने जा रहे हैं, कुछ नहीं हो रहा है. तो I always say that सब शुक्ल है तुम्हारी सरना, तुम रक्षक का हो को डरना.
तुम
And
रक्षा का होकर जाना.
instantly, it's like, something heavy has just gone. So I can totally relate to what you're saying. And
Believe me, there have been times when there have been heavy rain predictions or uh, rains हुई भी हैं जब लोगों ने कहा कि नहीं सोते. And I am continuously sitting in corner and doing my jobs, and it
mm,
has all gone. It has all gone. मतलब जहाँ पे बादल दिख रहे हैं आपको but बारिश नहीं हुई है.
नहीं हो रही.
And वहीं on the other part of Pune I have heard कि मतलब कैनोपीज उड़ गई हैं, बारिश हुई है, लोगों के सामान बह गए हैं. But touch wood, नहीं हुआ है मेरे साथ। आई डोंट
No,
नो, बट नहीं
that
हुआ, उन्होंने
is,
होने नहीं दिया है।
uh, faith, like I said, faith has immense strength. जब हमने विश्वास कर लिया, हमने सरेंडर कर दिया, then we are taken care of.
Yes,
Great.
we are. No doubt, हाँ, we are taking care.
Yeah. Okay, so moving ahead, little bit on the women in society, the silent pressures that goes on. Like you said that you started at a stage where you knew how to manage things, you knew how to handle things. So specifically, if I ask you about the women, what is one silent pressure that you think they carry when they are balancing their purpose, their work, their family? What is one silent pressure which they are not able to open up about or they are not talking about?
I don't know. I'm not really able to relate to this question because I never have. Like, I gave everything its time. That
Mhm.
is why I started my career full-fledged when I turned 40.
Mhm.
Uh, I believe personally, I may be wrong, but I think the silent pressure if you talk about is this, your
Right.
own mental block. मैं ये
Right.
करूंगी तो वो क्या सोचेगा, तो घर वाले क्या सोचेंगे, तो खाना टाइम पे मिलेगा कि नहीं मिलेगा, तो बच्चा आएगा तो उसके साथ तो this is what I feel because I have seen ladies around me getting stuck on this point, but then I personally don't. matlab, I don't know. I have never felt.
Uh, so yeah, coming towards the towards concluding all of this, uh, for women who feel stuck or who feel unseen, what is that one message that you would like to give them?
Again, वही चीज है, remove this, करना है तो करना है। आई मीन लाइक आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि आप झांसी की रानी बन जाओ एंड वो इतनी बाकी चीजें जाए भाग जाए, नहीं, बट देन व्हेन यू हैव इंटेंशंस करेक्ट, व्हेन यू हैव योर थिंग्स एट प्लेस, somewhere the entire universe, कहते हैं ना पूरी कायनात आपको उससे मिलाने में मदद करती है, वो हो जाता है, बट देन ओनली थिंग इज कि दिस हैज टू। हाँ, अब ये भी नहीं होना चाहिए कि आप एक रात सोए और दूसरे दिन उठ के सुबह कह रहे हैं कि अच्छा ओके अब मैं ये बिजनेस करूंगा, नहीं, यू नीड टू हैव योर थिंग्स राइट, यू नीड टू, अगर आप सोच रहे हो तो यू नीड टू हैव अ प्रॉपर बिजनेस प्लान। बाकी सब यहाँ पे है कि मैं ये कैसे करूंगी, मैं करूंगी, सब होता जाता है। हो सकता है शुरू शुरू में थोड़े फेलियर्स हो, सबके होते हैं, मेरे भी हुए हैं, आई नो पीपल, सबके होते हैं, देयर आर ऑलवेज टेस्ट एंड ट्रायल्स which
Right.
hits, which misses, but then those hits and misses, one, give you your lesson, your teachings, and also makes you a stronger person. That is what we call as experience. आगे वो गलतियां नहीं होंगी तो अपने I don't. But Dani, I'm not gone through these things. I did my homework when I wanted to, from companies name to everything. Like Sukanyaram Saxena Foundation, which I founded on 26th January. Believe me, I already started working for it. So I worked, I got associated with people. Once I was sure that yes, this thing has my dil, jigar, jaan, gurda, everything, then only I got it.
Right. I think
So you need
planning is
to
very
have your
important.
homework done.
वो ऑनेस्टी होनी चाहिए
Very
आपकी
important. Planning is very
प्लानिंग में.
important.
Right, right. So great, great. Surbhi, we had a
Hmm.
lot of
So that is
good
very
insights from
important.
you.
Having your
I
entire business plan.
right, right. Um, okay, so just few questions. These are not rapid fire. There's just one word, one liner answer questions. Just little bit on the fun side.
Okay.
So first thing is, what is that
Now it is
one
giving that
thing?
kuchur kuchur.
Yeah, one thing that instantly brings you joy. Mostly food. We want to know what food brings you joy.
Anything. I've just left non-veg, so anything in veg now. I'm a foodie. Anything which is spicy, which has a tingle. Okay.
Great. Great. And your go-to comfort activity when no one is watching?
My go-to comfort activity is, I don't know. I hear a lot of bhajans, a lot of months.
Acha.
So that is when nobody is watching. I just plug in my thing, and because when people are watching, especially at home, they want me all ears to them. So I
Right.
usually shut myself down, plug in my earplugs, and I'm there in my own zone.
Great. Okay. One thing people would be surprised to know about you.
Uh, I'm not that Hitler what people think. I'm actually usually a very, very funny person. There are people who have told my team to get scared of this lady. But I don't bite. I'm not that Hitler. I'm not that sicko. I'm just particular about my work.
Right. Okay.
I'm a very
Next.
fun-loving person otherwise.
Okay. So everyone listening should know. Whoever knows you and whoever is scared of you should now know that they don't need to be scared of you.
They don't need to be scared.
Okay. Okay. Any person, maybe in the past or present, who has changed your perspective on life?
Mm, not person exactly, but if I have to name anyone, that is me. If I see my journey from the
Mhm.
start that I did, it is me.
Wonderful.
I have
Wonderful.
changed my perspective towards life. I have struggled a lot. I know I am very hardworking, but when I see myself going through, it has changed. The things which as I told you, I used to take for granted. Now I don't.
Wonderful.
So no
Okay.
person, it's me.
Great. Great. One line of gratitude for someone who has not been good to you, but that thing made you stronger. How would you thank that person?
I just did that. I just did that few days back. I messaged. Thank you for teaching me the most uh, wonderful lesson, rather, the hardest lesson of life. I will definitely take it forward. I just did few days back. I thank the person.
Okay. Okay, so the last here is just you have to complete this sentence because this is a message that I really want to conclude this interview with. Uh, you just need to
Mhm.
complete the sentence. Inclusion begins when?
When you start doing that, when you mentally get there. Now, inclusion is when you're ready. You have that, bubbles clear.
Right. Wonderful. Okay, so thank you again, Surbhi, for being part of this and to just coming towards the signature question of this interview series, Shrishti, that we have. Uh, it's just a message that I want from someone like you who is so clear about what you're doing, who has very beautifully, integrated your purpose, your mission, your healing, everything together, and you're doing a wonderful job. So if there's someone, whoever is listening to us today, whoever watches this conversation, what is that one feeling or thought from your journey that you would want them to know or to, take it as a lesson?
It is okay to fall, to stop, to pause, to restart, but it's not okay to stop. But that stop means completely give up. It's not okay
Right.
to give up.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much once again. And it was very lovely to know your journey, to know all the things that you're doing. And it'll be great to know more about your work, to get more associated with all the things that you're doing. So I wish you all the best for the upcoming event and also all
Thank
the
you. Thank
other
you so much.
events that you are doing with such a purposeful meaning. So all the best to
Thank
you for
you.
that. Thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. It means a lot. Thank you for the chat.
Thank you. Okay.